Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and look at this from the Black Swan capitalist. Why are central banks buying gold at record highs during a rise interest rate scenario when historically they'd be selling? This is because of a two-tiered financial system is being set up to return to a neo-feudal model with a focus on commodities powered by blockchain. I think that's said pretty well. Here's the big news. The big news is this from James Phelan. Breaking: Judge Torres has denied the SEC's motion to file an interlocutory appeal. Now, my understanding is now that she's denied that, this means that time is completely on Ripple's side now, just like it was on the SEC's side for the last 2 or 3 years. Now, Gary is in a position where he basically cannot win while he's still the SEC chairman. And to me, that's significant because it would take them 2 or 3 years to do an actual appeal. That's the way I understand this thing. There may be a couple more moves they can try to make that are things that aren't going to work out. CoinDesk picked it up amazingly. Just in, a federal judge has rejected the SEC's bid. And remember, an interlocutory appeal, it's kind of like an emergency appeal. You're asking for an expedited appeal. Federal judge has rejected the SEC's bid to appeal its ground-shaking loss against Ripple. The crypto company associated with the XRP token, XRP rallied after the ruling was announced. Yeah, it did do a pretty big bump to, I think, like 54 cents or so. Zero Hedge says SEC bid for quick appeal of crypto ruling is denied by judge. The SEC has failed to meet its burden to show that such an appeal would materially advance the ultimate termination of the litigation. Then Zero Hedge said something very interesting. Gary Gensler will have to find more creative ways to allow BlackRock to accumulate crypto on the cheap. So they're inferring that BlackRock was accumulating XRP on the cheap while the appeal still hung there. Ashley Prosper, who my understanding is that she's an attorney, Judge Torres has being crystal clear on why sales of XRP on the secondary market are not securities. I get the sense she has had more than enough of the SEC's games. Ripple's programmatic sales were blind bid-ask transactions. The second one says Ripple's programmatic sales represent less than 1% of the global XRP trade volume. Ripple did not make any promises or offers because Ripple did not know who was buying XRP. Many programmatic buyers are entirely unaware of Ripple's existence. The programmatic sales were not made pursuant to contracts that contained lockup provisions, resale restrictions, indemnification clauses, or statements of purpose. The SEC failed to provide evidence that Ripple's promotional materials were distributed more broadly to the general public, such as to programmatic buyers. SEC failed to provide evidence that objective, reasonable programmatic buyers understood that statements made by Larson, Ripple chief cryptographer David Schwartz, Garlinghouse, and others were representations of Ripple and its efforts. Then there was this from Ashley Prosper. She says, footnote 5. Wow, Judge Torres is really taking the SEC to school on the Howey test. Turns out that brush isn't so broad. Consider, for example, a programmatic buyer who, while browsing a digital asset exchange, sees the price of XRP dramatically increase but is unaware of Ripple's existence. If the programmatic buyer then purchases XRP from the exchange with the intention of later selling XRP for a profit, she would have purchased XRP with an expectation of profit, but that motive is not derived from the entrepreneurial or managerial efforts of others as required under Howey. In other words, all digital assets on the secondary market on crypto exchanges are not securities. Here it is, folks. I mean, there you go. Now, I also wanted to show you this. This is, and I don't have a complete understanding of what this is yet, but it's a crypto.com. It looks like a letter that somebody's gotten to it's a submission to the CFTC portal on the same night as the proper party, same day as the proper party. CFTC portal submissions. It says self-certification of product XRP touch bracket contracts. Submission pursuant to Commission Regulation 40.2a. We go down here. XRP cryptocurrency touch bracket contracts. The exchange has self-certified multiple cryptocurrency contracts in the past, including touch bracket contracts on Bitcoin, Ethereum, touch bracket contracts on Litecoin, Dogcoin, touch bracket contracts on Anyway, we're going to have to look further into this. I don't know what a touch contract is, but this is crypto.com Derivatives North America. Today, Speaker McCarthy was ousted, and now Patrick McHenry, one of the biggest pro-crypto people, who's the maddest at Gary Gensler, is the temporary House Speaker. And I'm hearing that Tom Emmer, who is also pro-crypto and anti-Gary Gensler, has a real good chance of becoming the Speaker. This could get interesting. Now I'm going to go back to the case. The court's July 13th, this is Stuart Alderati, the court's July 13th ruling was and remains the law of the land. XRP is not a security. XRP is the only digital asset with legal clarity, folks. And that's the fact, Jack. Now, Fred Rispoli, a couple of the attorneys weighed in. XRP community, the big win was 713, of course, but this is also pretty sweet. Options for SEC are dwindling at a rapid pace. Says this opinion to me oozed with contempt from Judge Torres for the SEC for wasting her time in disrespectful way. I still maintain it all went south for the SEC the day it took such wildly hypocritical positions in the Hinman email saga. What an epic failed decision for show me the dinero tenrero. The TLDR of this order to me is footnote 6. First sentence, the court further notes that in its summary judgment briefing, the SEC presented shifting and inconsistent arguments as to its legal theory about other distributions. This statement was completely unnecessary for Judge Torres to make and only exists to jab at the SEC, out of character for Judge Torres, but fully necessary. The SEC may seek an emergency writ to the Second Circuit, but that will be denied. It would waste time and money, so I cannot put that at 0% probability. The order's many references to facts yet to be decided was saturated with implications by Judge Torres that any and all arguments by SEC will be greeted from a starting point of being non-credible, but as it becomes ever clearer, this case was only meant to kneecap an innovative company for the benefit of Gary's and Coward Clayton's, his word, masters. Don't expect SEC to recognize its doomed position anytime soon. And then John Deaton said, yes, I got the email from the court. Judge Torres has denied the interlocutory appeal request. SEC loses again, and John Deaton has won the award for my thumbnail on this video. And then John goes on. He says, and let me add, my very quick perusal of the order is untouchable. And yes, evidence submitted by XRP holders make another appearance in this decision in her findings of fact that she relied on. As I've maintained all along, her decision is based on the facts of this case. She stated that she never said no digital asset could ever be a security sold on an exchange, just that XRP in this case wasn't one, and that even though some XRP acquirers purchased XRP for speculation, the SEC didn't prove it was tied to the efforts of Ripple. Remember, the SEC was relying on an expert who got excluded on that very issue and who helped accomplish that. XRP holders did. Now, folks, look at this part that he says right here. In her findings of fact, as I've maintained all along, her decision is based on the facts of this case. This right here, folks, shows you that Gary Gensler has an open-ended, he's going to say that case was facts and circumstances. I can still go after all other digital assets. And if you think for a minute that he won't, think again. This right here is very simple. As I sit here, XRP is the only digital asset with legal clarity. And that's the fact, Jack. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that read it and weep. It's just the fact, Jack. Thanks for listening.